Right now, search and rescue efforts are taking place in Kentucky after a powerful storm swept through the state, causing major flooding and killed at least 9 people. That death toll is expected to tragically rise. The good news for some is that crews have already performed more than 1,000 rescues. President Trump has approved a disaster declaration for the state. Thousands of people are without power. Kentucky's Governor Andy Beshear joined CBS Mornings earlier to discuss the state's main concerns at the moment.
Some people who can't get out of their neighborhoods, we need to make sure we get them to safety. It means any additional nursing homes. We've already evacuated 2 where people need to be safe. Making sure people are going to have a dry place to stay for the next couple of days as they dig out. And then it'll be turning to the rebuilding effort. But we are still in an emergency situation here in Kentucky. Definitely concerned about our power outages because it's going to get really, really cold. So in many ways, this is one of the biggest flooding events we've had in some areas just since 2022.
CBS News national reporter Karen Hua is joining me now from Bowling Green, Kentucky, to describe what she is seeing on the ground there. So Karen, what have you seen over the last couple of hours?
Well, good morning, Vlad. Yeah, it may seem like I'm standing in a river right now, but this is actually a road in a park that leads to several bike paths and walkways. The water where I'm standing very carefully right now is about up to my knees, but you can see it gets much, much deeper further back there. There also are several structures in this park that have already been submerged by water. I want to turn your attention to that information stand right there. That's at least half underwater right there. And speaking of the snow, you can see a light dusting of white on the roof of that information center right there. The snow's been going on and off throughout the night. The nearby Barron River, the National Weather Service confirms that's still in moderate flooding stage.
So Karen, what are we learning about the folks who have tragically lost their lives in this dangerous weather?
Well, Governor Andy Beshear certainly confirmed to our team this morning at least 9 people have died across the state, but he believes 2 more lives have been lost. As you mentioned earlier, more than 1,000 rescues have been done since Saturday, but the state is still in search and rescue mode today, which means unfortunately, more deaths are expected to come. Officials are saying most of these deaths are due to people who are driving through water that is very fast-paced. We know a mother and her 7-year-old child, they unfortunately took a wrong turn onto this compromised bridge, and that's where their car was unfortunately submerged. We know in Atlanta, outside of Kentucky, another man unfortunately passed away when a tree fell onto his home, so several tragedies here in Kentucky. Governor Beshear is saying that this is one of the worst weather events to hit the state in about 10 years.
It is so absolutely heartbreaking to hear about any deaths, but certainly a young child at just the beginning stages of his life. Horrible, horrible. What are officials telling you, Karen, about the concerns going forward?
Well, of course, the cold weather is very much a concern. A lot of this flash flooding, it's all over right now, but some rivers have yet to crest, which means they haven't reached their highest level yet. It means out in East Kentucky, some of this flooding might continue for today. Again, the state is in search and rescue recovery mode. As the temperatures get colder, and we're expecting several inches of snow coming on Tuesday night, more than 300 roads like this are flooded, so officials are, of course, concerned that they could freeze over with this snow and cold to come. Also thinking about power outages. If it's a lot colder, it makes it a lot more difficult for crews to restore electricity to some 20,000 Kentuckians who are still without it. And, of course, with these frigid temperatures, being without power is certainly a dangerous thing as well.
Yeah, and Karen, just in the minutes that you've been on the air with us, Governor Andy Beshear has now confirmed that 11 people have lost their lives due to this dangerous weather. Thank you very much for your reporting. Stay safe, you and your crew. Thank you. All right, let's bring in CBS News Philadelphia meteorologist Tammie Souza with the first look at the national forecast. Hi, Tammie.
Well, hello, Vlad. Yeah, let's take a look at what's going on. First, let's hit the maps on the floor, and you can see exactly where we're talking about. This is where the flooding is. I've actually highlighted Lexington. We have a couple of things we're going to be watching very closely. First off, we have all of these winter alerts that are going into effect now, and this is for tomorrow night. Now, look at this. This stretches from the West Coast to the East Coast, but it does affect everybody that is in Kentucky. Why? Well, take a look at what's going to be on the way. This is a fairly substantial winter storm that is going to be moving through the area, and this is going to bring snow just to those areas where they don't need it. It starts on the West Coast, it dips down to the south, picks up moisture, heads right on through the Tennessee Valley and up the eastern seaboard. So this is going to be a wee bit of a mess for them to deal with. That on top of the fact that they have got to deal with the cold, the bitter cold that is going to be out there. We have a cold snap on the way. Take a look at the numbers right now. This is current numbers. It is 18 below in International Falls. It is 4 in Chicago. That lobe of cold air is going to be sliding in. We already have cold alerts in a place, and they are going to slide eastward. So the mid portion of the country already under cold alerts to go well below average, and this is just going to slide toward the East Coast. We'll talk more about this and the winter storm and the wind that's whipping the Northeast when I come back in a few minutes. Vlad?
All right, Tammie, thank you very much. Appreciate it.